Hello, thank you for tuning in to the Diaspora panel. We are the voice of the diaspora. With me, as always, my brother, Mr. Ola Lawal, who is based in Calgary, in Canada. Mr. Lawal, you're welcome to today's meeting.
Yeah, thank you for having me, and welcome to our viewers.
I also have my very able friend, Mr. Olaito Adedigba, who is based in New Jersey, in America. Mr. Adedigba, you are also welcome.
It's my pleasure being here this afternoon.
My name is Dejolaya, and I am based in Dublin, the Republic of Ireland. If you are one of our viewers who have not yet subscribed, please hit that subscription button now. It is free of charge, so that anytime we do a new video, you'll be one of the first people to know about it. Focus on 2027 elections and the realignment of forces. There is a lot of crossovers going on. Politicians are moving from one party to the other. There's a lot of activities going on relating to 2027 election. So we are going to examine some of these crossovers, some of these realignment of forces. What exactly does it take to snap power from BAT, from APC to another party? What does it take? What does the opposition need to do to get to power ahead of Bola Tinubu? So let me start with you, Olaitan, because you are a politician before you moved to America. We know that Bola Tinubu won a decisive victory in the APC primaries when he won as a candidate. But in the election proper, he barely was able to wriggle his way out. I think he scored about 33 to 34% of the about 34% or 35% of the votes. So it wasn't really a clear-cut victory. And we know that the other two candidates, Peter Obi and Alhaji Atiku Abubakar, also scored about 30%, each. So we have a country divided into three parts. So now, if the other two, that is the obedient movement and the articulate movement, or the Labour Party and the PDP, there's even a third force coming up now, led by Nasiru El-Rufai, who has just decamped to the SDP and is asking other disgruntled politicians to join him. He's calling upon Rotimi Amici, he's calling upon Atiku, he's calling upon Obi, he's calling upon all other politicians to come and join him in the SDP so that they can flush out the APC government. We also know that there are a few governors and a few members of rep, senators who have either joined APC or are planning to cross over. We learned that some of the followers of Alhaji Atiku Abubakar in Kano State, I think, cross over from PDP to APC. So these things are on. They are going. They are happening. So, like now, if you are the opposition and you are looking at Bola Tinubu, you are looking at his government, you are looking at his politics, you are looking at his policies, you are looking at what is going on, and you want to snatch power, what is your best shot?
Thank you for that question. This is the time for alignment and realignment. Like if it were Bola Tinubu too, President Bola Tinubu, this is how it will be garner support from everywhere. The disgruntled element will bring them together, right? People who are not happy with the way their party is going, maybe they are sidelined, maybe they don't have mouth in their party, they don't have, maybe they are sidelined. So everybody you want to bring them in. So it's normal. That is normal. But what I'm saying in essence is, these people are coming together. What is the ideology? None of them, they don't have ideology. They don't tell us what All what they want is El-Rufai wants power to shift back to the north, right? So, and in fairness, after Buhari has spent like 2 terms, we expected to say, okay, the South too, they should spend 2 terms. Not that within a year, everybody are now crying foul that no, for something that will be okay, right? It doesn't. It's very easy to destroy, but very difficult to build. The Nigerian system, things is not going on well, right? But for this government, everybody is knowledgeable. We know what is going on. What are these opposition? What do they want to offer? What different thing do they want to make? You are bringing in El-Rufai. El-Rufai is saying El-Rufai, Rotimi Amechi. They've been there. What do they offer? Obi, Aregbesola. No, these are the people I expected. Okay, this guy is. When I see genuine and forthright things being done by one government, because I'm not, if I'm not involved, I mean, I always buy genuine interest. Anything genuine, in it, in the interest of what is it called? In good faith, the guy is trying. There's nothing he could do. He's not a magician. We never voted for magician, right? Nigeria, when I was listening to one analysis, maybe Nigeria will have been buying because President Buhari era, they were borrowing to pay salaries. They were borrowing to do stuff. So this guy came, he removed subsidy. By now, we are adjusting ourselves to it, right? Everything that they've done is good. I mean, we are seeing the ripple effect. So now, all what we want to do is we should pray for him that he should be succeed. It should be successful. Not that we want to do this. I know they will be campaign. They will be campaign of calumny. They will be campaign. Detractors are there. No, that is the function of opposition. They have to tell us. But what I'm expected of them is tell us what do you want to do differently, and how do you want to do it, right? Not that the disgruntled people will just gather themselves together. Okay, we want to wrestle power. Wrestle power for yourself, for your family, not for the interest of the people. That is what is been going on in Nigeria. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you,
Yeah.
Ladan. Shukran. El-Rufai is trying to put together a coalition, an anti-Tinubu coalition. So he is calling on people like Aregbesola, who has now become an enemy of the president. He's calling on Peter. Yeah, of course, he's calling on Peter Obi, and that's the head of the BDM movement to come and join him in SDP. He's calling on Alhaji Atiku Abubakar to leave PDP, come and join him in SDP. We even heard that he's trying to bring Kayode Fayemi, former president of Ekiti, governor of Ekiti State, although Fayemi has said no, that he's still in APC. Okay, so is it somebody like El-Rufai who doesn't have a base? He lost his own state of Kaduna in the last election. In fact, the 2 terms he used in Kaduna State as governor, he rode on the back of the popularity of Buhari. He didn't have a base by himself. So he doesn't have a base. So is it him that will galvanize people like Atiku Abubakar, who has about 6 or 7 million votes the last time? People like Peter Obi have about 6 million votes like in the 2023 election. So is it somebody like El-Rufai? Does he have that kind of capacity to bring a coalition together to face Tinubu?
Yeah, thank you so much for the question. I think if we look at what has been happening, I will say that Malam Nasser El-Rufai is putting together a coalition of the disgruntled, is what he's doing. If you look at what is happening, I actually believe if things continue at this stage, if things continue the way they are going, it will be a decisive win for Bola Ahmed Tinubu come 2027. And I will tell you exactly why. If you look at what is happening, it is very clear that President Tinubu has a legislative agenda. You can agree with his agenda, you can disagree with it, but he clearly has a legislative agenda, which he has been very successful in pushing through the National Assembly. We now have a functioning refinery in Nigeria. We have a couple of other things that are coming up. Another refinery is in the offing. Pan, we used to make Pojo, is now getting back in Kaduna. There's a lot of things happening.
Still
With
rolling
Dangote
me.
refinery.
Still rolling me.
So
yes.
Still rolling me too is coming back. So there are lots of things happening. And what that is going to do is we're going to see a lot of the jobs that have been lost in Nigeria are going to come back. We've already seen that with Dangote refinery, how it's actually affecting even European jobs. If those things continue, you will begin to see the emergence of a new middle class in Nigeria. So, folks that are not, very rich, but are not poor either. They can afford a decent living. They can, afford to buy a house and pay it off over a period of time. They can send their children to school. They can go on vacation. That middle class is going to begin to grow and grow as more of these areas of the economy start kicking in. If that continues, and the security situation also improves, it will be difficult to not give Tinubu a second agenda, a second shot, come 2027. Now, if you look at the people that are coming into the APC, they are actually brilliant minds. I mean, the likes of Shehu Sani, if he's coming back into the APC, I actually predict that in Rivers State, with the problems that Governor Sim Fubara is having, mark my words, Governor Fubara too may eventually pitch his tent with the APC. The PDP as a political party is dead. It has not played its role as an official opposition. It is very unlikely that the elements within that party are going to, galvanize their efforts together and reform that party. The Labour Party too has its own crisis. So, if you look at all of the other political parties, they are not at any level where they can all compete, with the APC at the moment. So, if you look at Malam Nasir El-Rufai's record, his disagreement with the government is not based on ideology. It's not based on, any particular, policy. It's just based on, I want power. And I think Nigerians are tired of that type of a narrative. Nigerians have gotten to a point now where they want to see the vision that you have for the country. They want to look at your record to see if you have the wherewithal or if you've demonstrated the ability to implement your own agenda. And unfortunately, if you look at those two metrics, I think Nasir El-Rufai falls short. Finally, I would say, when you are, forming a coalition, I think as a politician, it's important that you know where you stand. You are calling Atiku Abubakar, who has contested in 3 or 4 elections. What are you calling him to the SCP to come and do? To come and support you, to give up his own ambitions. I mean, this is never going to happen. Obi is not going to join him in any party as well. I don't believe he will. And I will see actually a lot more obedience if Peter Obi is not able to either resolve the crisis in the Labour Party or galvanize into another party. I think Obi is going to shed some support from obedience. And who's going to be the net gain? Is going to be the APC because people are going to begin to see the positive impact of the policies, the tax bill, all of the other things, the census, that they will be conducting this year. If that goes very well and, we get it, properly, the assembly is restructured based on the true population, people are going to begin to believe more in President Tinubu being able to achieve his legislative agenda. So it becomes getting the right policies in front of him. If you're able to do that, those policies will have a fair chance of passing. So I don't think this SDP coalition is going to work. As I said, it's a coalition of the weak, it's a coalition of the unhealthy, it is a coalition of the disgruntled.
Okay, thank you, Shuko. Lighton,
Yep.
to buttress what Shuko just said, I'm beginning to see that El-Rufai's call is just, blowing hot air into the air. Now, Peter Obi, who he has called to come and join him in the SCP, as a couple of days ago, I think after yesterday or day before yesterday, went to Bauchi to talk to the Bauchi governor, and they decided to work together. So El-Rufai is gunning to become the vice presidential candidate for Peter Obi in an SDP party. Okay, but Peter Obi has, tacitly said no. I don't want to work with you. And he has now retraced his footsteps back to the PDP. He has now gone to meet the governor of Bauchi State. So, and that governor in Bauchi
Bala
State seems to
Mohammed.
be, Bala Mohammed. It seems to be the kind of de facto leader right now for the PDP. He's the one that is leading the PDP in actual fact. Okay. So, and Bala Mohammed has decided, told Obi that I will work with you. So if you are if you are the APC government and you are seeing Peter Obi going back to the PDP as a presidential candidate, with Bala Mohammed being the first presidential candidate, with Atiku saying, okay, I'm done. Let me sit back and support you guys. Do you think that APC will be in problem in 2027 if you have a coalition of, say, Obi and Atiku working together, with Obi at the top of the ladder?
The question is, who will be the presidential candidate?
Peter Obi.
Peter Obi will be the presidential candidate.
With Bala Mohammed
the Hausas will not vote for Peter Obi as the vice president. The question is, there is a distrust between the Igbos and the Hausa. The Hausa will not vote for Peter Obi, mind you. Look at the last election. Look at the previous election. Even during Zig, right? So this time around, if they come together, they want to. They are just child's play, right? They can't make any impact. Nigerians, we are not knowledgeable now. We need people. We've suffered enough. All what we want is good governance in Nigeria. Not that people will continue telling us, branding somebody for us. Somebody we know is antecedent, right? And you'll be branding him for us. That, okay, this is what he can do, this is what he can do. El-Rufai, in his book, he spoke unprintable things about Atiku, right? How he's corrupt, how he's untrustworthy, how he believes in voodoo. Yeah, these are the things. And you are inviting at the same article. You spoke a lot of gibberish about Obi. Then you are inviting them to come and join you, right? So what I believe is, if these people they come together, Nigerians, we are in the mid-sea. Then the best thing for us is to make sure we get to the end of the sea, right? Rather than being turning back, that okay, we want to go. No, for what? Why do we? This guy, we tested him. He's tested and trusted. Tinubu, with what he did, with what they are doing, right? No, it's not yet Ouru, but we are going there. With the way things are going, we are going there. Yes. Okay. So I believe that all of them, they are coming together. Look at what is their impact. Is it Aregbesola that can win Osun? Even when he was the governor, the second time, he couldn't win. Mind you, right? So Fayemi, I know Fayemi is not going. Nasir El-Rufai. He couldn't win in Kaduna. And those people who left the party because of him, because of his hard-headedness, they are now coming back. The guy, the villagers, they can now farm in Kaduna State. The southern Kaduna, they can now sleep with their head, right? So not that they will be sleeping with half eyes, right?
Okay.
So everybody, Kaduna is okay now. So we are, APC will make an impact. Forget about it. It's just as if you are comparing a collection of cars with a Laonis, right?
Thank you, Lighton. Shukro, if you hear what El-Rufai is saying, it seems to be calling on Aregbesola, who was, it's a 5 and 6 with President Ahmed Bola Tinubu before, they parted way a few years back. And he's even suggesting that someone like Fayemi will join him. He wants Regime Amici to join him. So looking at, do you think Aregbesola will make that move? And do you think Fayemi will make that move? And is that kind of, do you think that will be suicidal for them politically?
So I think personally, I believe Aregbesol's political career has ended. Um, uh, quite honestly, um, and the final nail in the coffin for him, apart from all of the shenanigans that he carried out, prior to the 2023 presidential elections, is now his support for Sharia law in Yoruba land. I think that move has made him even more popular, um, and more distrusted, by majority of the people in Osun State. So I don't see his relevance even in Osun politics any longer, any more than what he was able to garner when he last contested, and the impact he's had in the last two successive elections in Osun State. Now, the likes of Fayemi, I think let's wait and see. I think he's more of a quiet personality, but let's wait and see what happens. However, if you line up Nasir El-Rufai with the likes of Rotimi Amechi, um, he's a junior. I mean, these are people who have governed states that are uh, have a much bigger budget. Have contributed a bigger GDP. Have managed this type of economies. Amechi has been minister under the Buhari administration. So these are feats that even El Rufai wasn't able to successfully cross. When he was nominated as a minister under uh, Tinubu's government. So he's a junior when it comes to that. If anybody is going to consider Nasir El-Rufai, he may be a power player, but I think there are other people that are, uh, largely in front of him. He seems to be the most vocal at this point. But you and I know that the people who eventually, get the nomination are not those who are, necessarily loud, but it is those who are making the right moves, within the grassroots and are talking, to the right powers that be.
Thank you very much. Okay. So because our time is actually fast gone, so like I'm just gonna ask you one quick question, which is the last question. Do you think El-Rufai has made a suicidal move? Do you think he has made it? Do you think he did the right thing? Or do you think he has killed himself politically?
Yeah, like politicians, like what they always do. If he retrace his step, right, it can be relevant again. But if he doesn't retrace his step, yeah, he made the same mistake the like of Ebenezer Obatope made, that led them go into the oblivion, right? When politicians are there, they hardly listen to people. What they want to do is what they want to do. but they will not look at the interest, what will interest people, right? But you will not do it. You made a lot of mistakes. You made a lot of mess. You disrupted the NNPC, I mean, APC in Kaduna State. A lot of big wigs, heavyweight politicians, they left APC because of you. And you want to come back now. Those people have now retraced them. Those people are now came back, and you want to come back again, saying no, it has lost its relevance, right? That is it.
Thank
Mm-hmm.
you very much. Thank you, Lighton.
You're
Super.
welcome.
My last question for you is, how can Peter Obi benefit from all this? How do you think he can benefit in just 1 minute, please?
Yeah, I think for me, Peter Obi has demonstrated his inability to actually coalesce people and form an alliance that he can lead and sustain. All of the problems that has happened in the Labour Party um, has demonstrated that he's not capable of resolving internal party wranglings and bringing the party together. And that is very important. If you're going to contest, on a national scale and win, convincingly. So, and leaving the Labour Party, where's he going to go? Is he going to go back to the PDP? Is he going to go to the SDP? Which party is he going to go to? If I were advising him, I would say stay in Labour, resolve the issues in
Fix the
Labour,
problem. Mm.
and then fix the problem. And that actually even will give him a much bigger platform. Otherwise, he's going to lose some of the obedience, and he's just going to be, another. I won't call him a rabble rouser, but I think I believe in his vision. But having a vision is one thing. Having the structure and the ability to be able to get your agenda through the house is a different ball game. And for me, I think that is where he's currently failing.
Thank you very much. So, yeah, we come to the end of today's conversation. And my final note is that if you're a politician, this is not the right time to move away from APC. There's no vacancy in Aso Rock. Forget about it. There's no vacancy in Aso Rock. So stick with Bola Tinubu. He's going to get his second term and it's going to be there till 2031. And then after that, if you play your cards right, you might get his support. So that's where we're ending it today. And I want to say thank you so much, Mr. Olalawa, all the way from Canada. Thank you for coming to today's meeting.
Thank you for having me.
And Mr. Olaitan all the way from New Jersey in America. Thank you so much for your contribution tonight.
It's my pleasure. Thank you very much.
And again, I want to say thank you to all our viewers, all our subscribers. Please hit that button if you have not yet subscribed so that when we do the next video, you'll be one of the first people to know about it. So we'll see you again next week by God's grace. God bless you and goodbye.